Chemical hair relaxers, also known as perms, have been used in the Black community for decades to help their textured hair look more manageable and softer. But before you continue putting these chemicals into your hair, you should know the side effects that they have on your health. In this video, I'm going to give you 7 toxic side effects of chemical hair relaxers to your health. So make sure you know about these side effects before you continue putting these products into your hair. First of all, what are chemical relaxers made of? My name is Glory. I'm a board certified internal medicine doctor here in the Philadelphia area, helping you to live healthy lives and build healthy relationships. The active ingredient in chemical hair relaxers, in most chemical hair relaxers anyway, is sodium hydroxide. Now, this is the same chemical that is found in drain declogging liquids. Other chemicals that are found in hair relaxers are formaldehyde, phthalates, and parabens. These are all chemicals that have been scientifically known and proven to cause many toxic effects to the human body. Let's get right into the 7 toxic side effects that chemical hair relaxers can cause. Number 1 is fibroids. It is a well-known fact that fibroids are very common, or most common among Black women. A whopping 30% of Black women have uterine fibroids, and this have been shown to be directly linked to their use of chemical hair relaxers. Number 2 is cancer. Studies have also shown that the frequent use of chemical hair relaxers has been directly linked to uterine cancer, cervical cancer, and ovarian cancer. And according to studies, this is because these chemicals directly affect the hormones in a woman's body. According to a study by the NIH, the Black and Latino women in the USA have a significantly higher rate of uterine cancers because of their frequent exposure to chemical hair relaxers. Number 3 is hair loss or alopecia. Some of the chemicals in hair relaxers, such as hydrogen hydroxide, are very toxic and corrosive and can cause burns, scars, and direct hair loss, which can be irreversible in many cases. And if in addition to using these hair relaxers, you are fond of doing very tight hairstyles such as sleek ponytails or pulling your edges back, then you have a guaranteed recipe for alopecia. Number 4, early onset menstrual cycles and breast development. Here in the USA, the age for puberty, especially in girls, keeps getting lower and lower, with some girls getting puberty as early as 7 years old. 7. That's outrageous. The modern diet is probably a bigger contributor to this fact, but also for girls who use chemical hair relaxers, especially those who start off very young. And some mothers start putting relaxers in their daughter's hair as young as 4 years old, 5 years old. And so this also just compounds the problems and puts them at higher and higher risk of early onset puberty. Number 5, infertility. It is no surprise that the rate of infertility worldwide, and especially in the USA, has increased tremendously over the years. And this is due to the amount of exposure to all these hormone disruptors, whether it's from the foods that we eat or from the contaminated water that we drink from plastic containers. Hormone disruptors are causing significant effects on infertility in women. Chemical hair relaxers are a part of it. And these effects are worse over the years after prolonged exposure to these chemicals, especially girls who start getting perms when they're 6 years old, when they're very young. By the time they get older, by the time they're 26, 20 years later, and they may start to struggle with different infertility problems. I can guarantee you that the stress and pain of struggling to conceive is really not worth the sleek, beautiful hairstyles that perms are affording you right now. Number 6, lung and respiratory problems. Now, constant exposure and inhalation of some of the chemicals in chemical hair relaxers can cause significant irritation and problems to the lungs, especially chemicals such as formaldehyde, which is a very known carcinogen, which means it causes cancer or increases the risk of cancer. Constant exposure to these chemicals, especially in spaces that are not ventilated, such as hair salons, creates significant exposure to these fumes that can cause lung problems. If you're a hairstylist, you work in a salon, you have to try to make sure that the space is well ventilated. Otherwise, over the years, you might end up with lung and respiratory problems and even some forms of lung cancer. Number 7, central nervous system effects. The constant and frequent use of chemical hair relaxers has been directly linked to frequent headaches, dizziness, nausea, and drowsiness. Maybe the persistent migraines and headaches that you're constantly having and taking medication for are directly linked to the relaxers you're using. After learning about this 7 side effects of chemical hair relaxers, it is up to you to decide if you want to continue using these chemicals. I will strongly recommend against it, but most especially, you should not expose your young children to chemical hair relaxers. There's no reason for it. Let them grow, let them mature, and then when they're much older, if they want to decide for themselves, they can go ahead and use hair relaxers. But as far as you are concerned, at least you're informed and you can make an informed decision whether or not you want to continue using these chemical hair relaxers, but knowing fully well that you are putting yourself at risk of getting these 7 side effects. And I'm pretty sure there are even much more side effects of chemical hair relaxers that we don't know yet. Be wise in your choices because you do have consequences for every decision you make. All right, this is it for today. Until next time, God bless.